Hi there. Welcome to the Great Outdoors Adventures Travel Group. There we go. Welcome to the Great Outdoors Adventures Travel Group. My name is Laura Halleck. I am the group organizer and administrator for this group. We started, for those of you who are new and not familiar with us, we were created in 2016, and we started this group for like-minded people and active adults who enjoy the beauty, majesty, and wonder of nature and adventure travel in the great outdoors. And we do all kinds of activities. We do hiking, rafting, kayaking, and since 2019, we yearly do a scuba diving and snorkeling trip. And so that is what we are doing tonight. This is the orientation for the Southern Safari Diving and Snorkeling Liveaboard Expedition Adventure aboard the Quino Del Mar Liveaboard in Baja Sur, which is Southern Baja, Mexico. And this trip is coming up September the 28th through October the 5th. And it's going to be an absolutely amazing experience. Our agenda, we're going to explore Baja and the Sea of Cortez. I'm going to introduce you to the Quino El Guardian and the Midriff Islands adventure that we took in 2022, which was absolutely amazing. We didn't want to get off the boat. It was so much fun. And then the new Quino Del Mar Liveaboard that we will be traveling on for this adventure. Then I'll talk about the Southern Safari Expedition Adventure, what that entails, what's included, what's not included, and the costs. And then we'll go into some travel, international travel and logistics, some important details, and then how do you sign up and register. So with that being said, let's get started. When I talk about the Sea of Cortez, I like to always start off with this short video. The Sea of Cortez was named by Jacque Cousteau as the world's aquarium. He loved it so much and was just absolutely amazed and in awe by the number of the biodiversity of the marine life species that are there. And so this video is his son, Jean-Michel Cousteau, and it's a great introduction to the Sea of Cortez. So here we go.
It was during our 1986 Legacy of Cortez expedition that I fell in love with the Sea of Cortez. I discovered this was more than just a sea, but a region of fascinating connections. Its lush desert landscapes, punctuated with majestic cordon cactus, lie adjacent to rich, productive waters that support an amazing variety and abundance of sea life. Few places in the world support such an array of large ocean animals and beautiful creatures of all shapes and sizes. It truly is the aquarium of the world. Some of the most beautiful desert landscapes I've seen line the coast here along lush mangrove forests. Mangroves are rich ocean ecosystems that provide homes for resident and migratory birds that benefit from the calm conditions and abundance of food. Mangrove trees have special roots that allow them to grow in water, and these roots also provide habitat for fish and many other species. Many of these species spend the first years of their lives in mangroves before they venture out to the open ocean. These weird jungle gems of nature are also important to people as they protect shorelines from erosion during storms. From tiny to gigantic, from land to sea, all is connected in the Sea of Cortez. I can't think of a better place with more beauty, diversity, drama and mystery than this rich region located off Mexico's Baja California. And this is why I want to return to film in 3D and share the adventure of its discovery with IMAX audiences around the world.
Wonderful. Beautiful video. Stop it right there. And we'll move on. So this is Baja and the Sea of Cortez. It is roughly about 700 miles long. The peninsula, it's one of the longest peninsulas in the world, I've heard. And some argue that it's 750 miles or 800 miles, but you get the idea. It's pretty long. And only at its widest is it about 150 miles wide. But interestingly, there are about 244 islands in the Sea of Cortez. And the largest ones are Isla Ángel de la Guarda and Isla Tiburón. But the Sea of Cortez is famous for having one of the highest biodiversity areas, or being one of the highest biodiversity areas on the planet, with over 900 varieties of fish, 2,000 species of marine life invertebrates. And you just never know what you're going to see above the water, as well as below, of large species as well as small ones. So if you're a diver and into macro, you will find plenty of macro. But in all, it is an UNESCO World Heritage Site and a Biosphere Marine Reserve. So some of the species that you can see in the Sea of Cortez are varieties of eel. That is a gray spotted eel. I'm not sure that's the scientific name for it there, but as well as the rays, that is the Sea of Cortez stingray. You'll see a ton of those. They're like everywhere. And then the mobilas, they're also called the flying doubles or doubles rays, but those are absolutely amazing. And then dolphins. You'll see megapods of dolphins, of both common dolphins, which those are the common dolphins in that picture, moms with their babies, as well as bottlenose dolphins. Those are the most common ones in the Sea of Cortez. Some other creatures that you can see in the Sea of Cortez. I took these pictures just snorkeling too in San Carlos, but beautiful angelfish, of course, the eels. That picture in the middle, that is a sea cucumber. They're very important to the marine ecosystems because they're kind of like the cleaners. So when you see sea cucumbers, that's a good sign of a healthy reef. To the right, that starfish, they call that the chocolate chip, or at least we call that the chocolate chip. Again, I'm not sure that's the scientific name for it, but and then in the bottom center picture, maybe not so easy to make out, but that is a lobster. And he's hiding in the crevice there. So more starfish. The picture in the middle, I don't know if they call that the stonefish or rockfish. I think they call that the rockfish, but it is poisonous, so please don't touch that. And then you can see the Sea of Cortez ray, and I don't remember what the name of the fish is in the upper right-hand corner, but you get the idea that you never know what you're going to see. There's so much to see. And like I said, the dolphin megapods, I've seen the megapods before, both of the bottlenose dolphins. The largest megapods are actually the common dolphins. You'll see those in the thousands. So absolutely, it was just a surreal experience to be out in the middle, in a panga boat, surrounded by dolphins everywhere. So, and another thing that's really, truly, I think, amazing and special about the Sea of Cortez are the whale sharks. And they come up the Sea of Cortez roughly, I believe it's between June and November, to Bahia de Los Angeles, which is central Baja on the peninsula side. And so we took a trip in 2021 to Bahia, and this video was taken of a whale shark by our good friend Jeff and his GoPro. And check this out. They are larger than anything you could ever imagine seeing. Pretty cool and amazing. Thank you, Jeff, for the GoPro video there. Love the whale sharks. They are the gentle giants of the sea. But another thing that's special about the Sea of Cortez, I believe, are the mobilas, which they do call the flying mobilas. And again, when we were in Bahia de Los Angeles, in our panga boats, we were in between our dives. All of a sudden, there were these rays jumping out of the water. And it's so cool and amazing. They jump high up into the air, and then they come and they belly flop down. And researchers, they don't really know for sure. There's different theories. The most common theory, I believe, is that they are trying to knock off the parasites off of their bodies, which is a logical theory, but they don't know for sure. And so I found this video. This is by National Geographic, and I think you're going to enjoy this because this is really, really super amazing. Yeah,
I don't
just
really
the
like committing
commercial.
to things.
Sorry
I'm
about that.
scared. But when Verizon announced that I could lock in a low price for 3 years, I mean, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Can you hear me now?
Sorry about that.
Mobula rays are often seen off Baja, but this year is one for the record books. Exactly why they're here is not known. But tens of thousands of rays have come together in an epic gathering. Quite possibly the largest school ever filmed. With wings over 2 meters from tip to tip, why not fly? And then they vanish as quickly as they appeared.
All right. Those are the mobulas. I can't guarantee that we will see 10,000 of them like that, but hopefully we'll get to see some and you can experience that. We will be doing a night dive as well with mobulas. But in addition to mobulas, everybody loves the sea lions, and there are sea lion colonies all along the Sea of Cortez. We will be visiting one as well on our trip. But they are so much fun. They love divers. They're playful. These are typically the younger ones and the females, because you'll see the males swimming up on top and circling around and just making sure everything is okay. But they're great. They are like the highlight of your trip for most people. Here's some sea lions that we encountered and made friends with in San Carlos at San Pedro Nolasco Island. So they just swim around you and they'll look you straight, you know, eyeball to eyeball through your face mask. They'll also nip at your fins. So don't be alarmed. They're just playing. Hopefully they don't put any holes in your, I've not heard of that. I've just heard of them just kind of playing. So get this thing going here. There we go. So in addition to the sea lions, there are also different species of whales in the Sea of Cortez. There are humpbacks, there are pilot whales, there are gray whales, killer whales, which we also know as orcas, and fin whales. When we were in the Sea of Cortez, the last trip that we took in 2022, we saw pilot whales. I'll have a video of that shortly. But this is the trip that we took in 2022. This is the Sea of Cortez Midriff Islands diving and snorkeling It was also a citizen science liveaboard adventure, and this was on the Quino El Guardian. And this is the boat that they're going to be retiring and replacing, sadly, but here is the trip. This is the northern Sea of Cortez and the Midriff Islands by the Mexico liveaboards. Awesome. And it was such a great trip. But this is it. This is our group and our dive masters on the Quino El Guardian. And as I said, it was a citizen science adventure, and we just, my goodness, we just didn't want to get off the boat at the end. You really do feel like your family. They take such good care of you, and such a blast. It's a life-changing experience, I will tell you that. This was the scientist that we had on board with us. This is Senor Edgardo Ochoa, and he is the Director of Marine Safety at Conservation International. And so in the evenings, we'd have fun presentations. And so that's sitting there in the salon, and that's Leo. He's giving that presentation right there, but our Senor Ochoa is sitting right next to him. And yeah, it was just fantastic. You just really, my goodness, 8 days, 7 nights, right? 8 days, 7 nights, well, a week on board. You really get to know people, and it's a truly special experience. I can't say enough about it. But and the food, if you're a foodie, I sort of am, they feed you constantly. I mean, it becomes kind of more food than what you can eat if you're diving, but it's there, and it's absolutely fantastic. It is so delicious. They'll serve you right up there on the top deck. And yeah, and if there's a special celebration, like a birthday, we had a birthday, one of our gals, that's her there, Laura Connolly, and it was her birthday. And so they just, you know, let the chef know, and they'll make a cake. And we had a ton of fun. So in the bottom picture there, that's breakfast. I like ham and eggs. So and served with beans. It was delicious every day, morning, noon, and evening. It was fantastic. And so I saved some of the pictures here of our accommodations. You know, this is not going to be the boat that we're taking, but you can see very comfortable. We had so much fun. It really, you know, really was a great ship. And, you know, sad to see it being retired. We had a ton of fun on it. But that's me with the yellow mask rims there. And then my dive buddy extraordinaire is Laura. And in the upper right is Maru. That was our dive master for most of that trip. And then the bottom right is Leo. And the dive master, mostly I think it was Leo, would give us the dive briefings for every dive. And bless them, they would draw us a picture of the dive site and really explain it to you in full detail. So you were fully briefed, and you always felt comfortable, you know, going on these dives. They really went into the details, and they took good care of you. So this is one of my favorite places, islands that we reached, was the last one, San Pedro Martir Island. And this was the large sea lion colony at San Pedro Martir. And as I said, it's always a blast with those sea lions. And there's a ton of them there. It was a really large sea lion colony. And that's Maru right there. As you can see, the sea lion is just getting right smack. I would have paid to get that picture, but I didn't get one. But that's a great shot right there. But as I said earlier, on this adventure and at San Pedro Martir Island, which is a marine reserve, we encountered pilot whales. Now we were getting ready for our first dives of the day, right? So this is morning, and suddenly our panga driver, Avo, he's shouting, dolphins, dolphins. And so we got into the panga boats. We dropped everything and got in the panga boats and went out there and realized they were not dolphins. They looked like it from afar with the dorsals, but then you get closer and you notice the dorsals are a little bit bigger, and also they're darker. It's like a dark smoky gray, almost black. But anyways, here's a short video. This is my own video, so you'll have to excuse the quality videography and it may not come up with the sound, but you'll get an idea of what it's like to encounter pilot whales. They have like a blunt snout, and they're really, really unique, and it's very cool.
Okay, we're right upon a pod of pilot whales, and about 4 or 5 of them. Oh my God, look at them, beautiful, beautiful. Oh, sorry.
And don't step on toes.
Wow. My video is just gonna go nuts. Can't move too fast with video. Everybody jump! Look it! Oh wow. Beautiful. Yeah, they are very rapido. So this is the Midriff Islands. We're at San Pedro Martir Island. Look at that. Wow, they jumped in to snorkel. Generally what happens is they'll see you and they'll go down. But about 4 or 5 of them. We thought they were dolphins, and so we came out on the pangas and realized that they are pilot whales. Absolutely amazing. San Pedro Martir Island in the Midriff Islands. We are on a live aboard adventure, and it has been. And the Wonderful. Lots of fun.
And it was lots of fun. So that's what it's like to encounter the pilot whales. I stayed in the boat. I know from experience, jumping off and hopping in the water there, it can tend to, I don't want to say scare them, but they'll go down when they see you. And that is exactly what happened. So I decided to stay in the boat and capture it from above, which I was glad I did. So what are we going to be doing? Well, this is the Southern Safari Expedition Adventure. So where you see Puerto Penasco up there at the top, that red line there, that was the Quino trip that we just took and going to the Midriff Islands. So you can see that route there. We're going to be discovering and exploring Southern Baja, starting from San Jose del Cabo, and that's the yellow line that's there. That's the route. I don't think we're going to go as far north as Loreto, but we're going to be island hopping off of the coast of La Paz, and it's going to be fantastic. And if you're wondering what the green line is, they do offer, Mexico Liveaboards does offer a trip starting in Puerto Penasco. So if you're from Phoenix, Arizona, or even from California, driving to Puerto Penasco, you can board the boat there and do I think it's about a 2-week trip, and explore the whole Sea of Cortez, from the north to the south. So it is open jaw, so you would fly back home, or drive, actually, if you're driving from San Jose del Cabo. So, but we're doing the southern Sea of Cortez, and it's going to be fantastic diving down there. Absolutely wonderful. Here is a great introduction to what it's like to dive off La Paz. And here we go.
La Paz is the capital city of the Mexican state of Baja California Sur, the hub of Baja ecotourism, and home to some of the best diving in the Sea of Cortez. Visiting the Sea of Cortez has been popular for many years, and La Paz provides the chance to explore its year-round warm and calm waters. The beauty of La Paz lies beneath the surface, and for both the beginner and experienced diver, there is something to offer for all. Considered to be among the world's great dive destinations, the Sea of Cortez has been dubbed the aquarium of the world by Jacque Cousteau, as more than half of all the marine species call this ocean their home. With dive sites like Los Islotes, which is inhabited by a sea lion colony, and La Reina at Cerralvo Island, these sites offer a slow drop-off that is suitable for both beginners and advanced divers. Diving with sea lions is one of the most rewarding and entertaining dives you could ever wish for, and offers the possibility of seeing something very special or unexpected, such as a whale shark or giant Pacific manta ray. Although the Sea of Cortez is great for divers, the shallow waters offer plenty to see for snorkelers. A guide can take you to enjoy the underwater life to see urchins, snails, starfish, and colorful fish in their own habitat. The areas of El Bajo, Los Islotes, Los Animas, La Reina, and La Reinita surrounding the islands are perfect for sea exploration. The conditions throughout the year are ideal for both diving and snorkeling, autumn being the best season due to the clarity and temperature of the water. With so much to experience both above and below the water, the city of La Paz gives you an opportunity to explore the magic, color, and allure of all that Mexico has to offer. Providing some of the best diving in the Sea of Cortez, make La Paz your next dive destination. Visit www.golapaz.com for more information.
And that's a great resource too, if you want to learn more about visiting La Paz. So, great introduction to La Paz. And so here are some great professional quality, I would say, pictures that have been taken from this Southern Safari cruise expedition for previous expeditions. And so the upper left corner there, those are white tip reef sharks. Of course, to the right in the upper corner, we know them as the orcas. We did see a pod of orcas go by. We just couldn't catch up to them. So, but they're out there. Bottom left is the striped marlin. And the middle, I believe those are gray whales. And so that's a mama and her baby. And then, of course, the mobile arrays, which I'm really, really hoping we see some of those. But we will be doing, on that topic, we will be doing a night dive with mobilis. So we will see the mobilis. Some more pictures here. My favorite fish in the Sea of Cortez is actually the puffer. They just start swimming around you. They're actually, I think their name is really porcupine fish, but I love their faces, as it looks like they're smiling at you. They're probably not, but it looks like it, right? So, and of course, the sea lions, that's a male sea lion. You can tell they're a little bit bulkier and their facial, their face is a little bit different. But then the dolphins, right? Species that I've seen so far are the bottlenose as well as the common dolphins. And then the mantas. Oh my goodness, I hope we see some mantas. They are huge. They weigh up to, I believe, a couple thousand pounds. And they are also very friendly to scuba divers. They love scuba divers. So I know we have some members of our group that are dying to see some mantas, and I am too. So hopefully we're going to see some mantas. Moving on. So Mexico liveaboards, they're retiring the Quino El Guardian. Sadly, that's their research, citizen science research vessel. And they are building a new boat. It's being constructed right now. It will be finished by July for its first sailings, but it's the Quino Del Mar Liveaboard. It will be their largest boat at 118 feet long and accommodating up to 20 passengers, including the crew members. And it will have double occupancy guest cabins. We'll have private bathrooms with full-size showers, AC. There'll be a large galley, for dining, and then a salon for TV and DVD watching. It'll also have, I understand, a really large dive deck for cameras and photography. So for all you photographers out there, plenty of room, as well as charger stations, right? And then my favorite part after a dive is the head up to the top and the patio sun deck and just relax, watch for wildlife. But the Sea of Cortez also has the most beautiful and amazing sunsets. And so it's really awesome to be up there relaxing and watching the sunset. So this is it. This is current. I have a few current pictures of where things are at with the Quino Del Mar. As you can see, still working on it, but it's starting to come together. It's going to be a beautiful, beautiful boat. The upper left, that's the galley for dining. Upper right, it's one of the rooms, double occupancy. And then bottom right is what the camera deck and dive deck looks like so far. So it's coming along. But I saved this video for last to show you, what exploring Baja and the Sea of Cortez is like. I like this video because it's really well narrated and gives you a really good idea of what it's like to be on a liveaboard expedition in the Sea of Cortez with the Mexico liveaboards. So here we go. Hope you enjoy.
I've been diving the Sea of Cortez for over 40 years, but this is the first time I've been able to dive its entire 800-mile length. The Quino El Guardian was our home from Puerto Penasco to San Jose del Cabo for 12 days. Our guides were experienced and enthusiastic dive masters Juan David and Edgar Gonzalez. The spacious dive deck and camera tables gave us lots of room to get ready, and there were plenty of charging outlets for batteries and electronic toys. Sea lions are the clowns of the Cortez. We visited several rookeries along the way. We encountered whale sharks at Bahia de Los Angeles. They're the world's largest fishes and feed on tiny plankton. An unexpected encounter with a fin whale was one of the highlights of our trip. On a backdrop of boulders and rocky walls, sea fans, black coral, and other invertebrates add a splash of color. A close look in the rubble rewarded us with a Gulf signal blending and its spectacular display. Don't get so wrapped up in macro subjects that you forget to look into the blue. You might miss a squadron of eagle rays. At night in Espiritu Santo, our lights attract plankton, provides a feast for mobula rays. These are the smaller cousins of manta rays, which have reappeared in the Sea of Cortez after an absence of 20 years. This is attributed to a decline in destructive fishing practices like trawling and gill netting. Sergeant majors and triggerfish are guarding their nests. At Los Islotes, sea lions buzz us as we swim in their favorite cave. Despite over 40 years of development, it's still possible to get away from it all and enjoy the primeval wilderness of Baja.
Very good diving.
I shot a bunch of little blennies and gobies, a couple of nudibranchs. It was a great macro dive.
It was about 110 feet. The garden eels were everywhere. It was fantastic.
Awesome.
I was expecting my mermaid, but I couldn't find my mermaid.
What can we get you?
Me iré con el sol cuando muera la tarde.
Quino's crew took care of our every need. Food was outstanding with a Mexican flair.
All right. Great video and beautiful trip there. But we're going to be doing the Southern Sea of Cortez, and this is the itinerary and logistics. As you can see, it's pretty simple. We arrive on Sunday. Okay, so Sunday to Sunday. We arrive on the 28th, and you know, our port is San Jose del Cabo Marina. And oh, excuse me. We depart, so boarding time will be about 5 p.m. That should be the Quino Del Mar boat there. Sorry about that. And the boat departs by 7 p.m. So if you're looking at flights or will be looking at flights, probably best to try to arrive by no later than mid-afternoon. Okay. There is a place that we can hang out for an hour or several hours and wait till boarding time, but we're not going to be able to board early, I'm told. So, but we depart at 7 p.m. and then the rest of the week is eat, sleep, dive, and we visit a different island just about every day, do a night dive with mobilas at Espiritu Santo. And then we return back to San Jose del Cabo Marina by 8:30 a.m. on Sunday, October the 5th. And so, you know, if you're looking to book flights, they said don't book anything earlier than 11 a.m. And so, so that's the itinerary. And this will be in the full trip description that I send you as well. But so what does this diving and snorkeling expedition include? Well, 8 days, 7 nights aboard the Quino Del Mar Liveaboard, double occupancy, 6 days of diving and snorkeling, 3 full course, and I'll say gourmet meals and dessert daily. Alcohol is available if you like a beer or a glass of wine. All your taxes and port fees, your tanks and weights. You can expect up to 3 to 4 dives daily, including 1 mobile and night dive. It'll be guided with a dive master on every dive, and it'll be tons of fun. What it will not entail, okay, what it doesn't include, okay, this is important, but your round trip airfare to and from Cabo. And that is airport code SJD if you're going to start pricing flights. Your transfers to and from the boat. So my understanding is it's about $60. It's a 35-minute ride from the airport to the marina. And it costs $60, and you can share that with somebody. So you know, share it with a friend or someone you're traveling with, who's coming with you, somebody in the group, and then you can share that cost. So it'll only be like $30. National park fee, that is extra. So bring some extra cash. They're stating that that cost right now is 230 pesos. Dive gear, BC regulator, dive computer, not included. If you need to rent gear, you need to let me know quickly. They can rent you gear, but they don't have a large stock of it, right? They don't have a lot of gear. So we need to speak up early about that. And then I can give you those costs as well. Nitrox, if you dive nitrox, it's an extra $140 for the week. Wetsuits, gloves, hoods, or booties, that equipment you'll need to bring, as well as your mask, fins, and snorkel. They don't provide that. We'll need to bring that. And then gratuities, very important, because these guys, they work really hard, and they are excellent at what they do. And so, you know, want to know what protocol is, it's generally 10 to 15% of the fare. Okay. On international travel and logistics, for Mexico, just a valid passport or a passport card. Just make sure that your passport or passport card is good for at least 6 months. Okay, that'll be important. If you do not have a passport or passport card, or yours is expiring within 6 months, then you can get a new one. Not hard. It does take, I think, 4 to 6 weeks is the estimation for how long it'll take to receive it. But that's the website right there. You go to travel.state.gov, passports, real easy. Customs immigration, well, we're flying into Cabo. They'll be providing us a tourist card. It's a visa, but they call it a tourist card. And then any documents that we need for customs and immigration, we'll just fill that all out when we arrive. Just be sure when you're packing, and I'll have packing lists that I'll send as well. But do be aware of what's allowed and what's not allowed, and that includes travel size for liquids as well. Okay. Some other important details. Well, the water temperature will be in the 80s, so it'll be nice and warm, but they still advise to bring a 3mm wetsuit. And I always recommend the 1mm skin suit. It is so comfortable. You can wear that snorkeling. It's also real easy to get your wetsuit on and off when you have the skin underneath. If you want to bring a hood, I have one. I've never worn it. It's good for cooler temperatures because you lose a lot of heat through your head. Neoprene gloves, protect your hands. Those rocks, although, you know, don't touch the rocks, don't touch the corals or anything. Having gloves is a good idea, I think. A dive light. I'd love to have a dive light. I might look into getting one. They're good for even day dives, looking in those rocks and crevices for critters, but it'll be especially handy for the night dive. They like for every diver to have a safety sausage and a whistle in case you get separated from your group and the boat. And then, you know, basic, if you're on the boat, towel, sunscreen, hat. But I'd like to address motion sickness, seasickness. If you think you're prone to it or may get it, the Bonine and Dramamine are the remedies over the counter that you can easily pick up. They're not expensive. But for if you know you're going to get seasick, you're very prone to it, or just want to be on the safe side, I recommend the patch, which is a prescription that you can get through your doctor. Okay. And that works really the best. Let's see what else here. Good to have your diving and snorkeling gear in a mesh bag with your name on it, if you can. Dry sack for electronics and things that you don't want to get wet. There's not going to be, excuse me, any Wi-Fi on the boat. Okay, so there's going to be no posting pictures on Facebook. We're going to be off the grid. We will be able to recharge phones and cameras and batteries and things like that. But there will be a satellite phone available for any emergency. And then I'm advising, if you're a diver, please bring your dive license card. It will be required as soon as you show up at the boat. Okay. And if you don't have it, well, they'll have to try to find you, find your number, your dive license number. I forgot it. So I'm speaking to myself here as well. I did forget my dive card, and it held up boarding because they had to go look for me in the PADI system. So don't do that. Just bring it. All right, moving on. All right. For international travel, I do recommend Global Entry. It really expedites things when you're looking at a tight connection time. and the airlines are always changing flights. So the cost is $120, and it's through the CBT, right? CBT, Customs and Border Patrol. Anyways, just Google global entry, you'll find it. But it's $120, and it does include the TSA pre-check, which is for domestic travel. It's good for 5 years. And I got it, and I just used it on our past trip from Belize, where we only had an hour and a half, less than that actually, to clear customs and immigration in Dallas, and it worked beautifully. So it's worth it. If you're from Arizona, they are requiring the travel ID. It's only $25. I think they're being very flexible on the cutoff date, but still good to have it. It's not expensive. Just do it, and you have it done. Insurance. If you are a diver, please note that dive insurance is going to be required for this trip. You will also need to show that you have it. Okay. I recommend Dan, which is a Divers Alert Network. And I think it's the most commonly used company as well, but they're excellent, not expensive, but you should have it anyways if you're a diver. So sign up for that if you don't have it. There's the website there. And it's really easy to do. I also recommend having travel insurance, and I don't mean just with your credit card. I mean a travel insurance policy. It's worth its weight in gold. It covers you for a whole lot of things: trip cancellations, interruptions, baggage delay, and or lost, stolen items. Also baggage damage, which is what I had on this last trip from Belize. My bag, when I got to Belize, it looked like somebody had taken a knife to it and sliced it from top to almost bottom. And I still had to get that bag back home with everything in it. I filed a claim when I got home, and literally the next day I was reimbursed for the whole cost of the case. It was a 30-inch luggage, and it, costed me over $100, and they reimbursed me like right away. So it's real easy to do. You could also encounter unexpected illnesses, need medical care that your insurance policy, your healthcare won't cover international, and as well as any accidents and injuries that happen that are not related to diving. So a whole bunch of things. I can get you a quote. I work with a company. Well, let's just say this is my favorite company that I like to work with. CSA Generali is the company, and I think they're real reasonably priced for the amount of coverage that you get, and so makes it more affordable, right? Baja California Travel and Tourism. Here are a few websites if you want to look into traveling to Baja a little bit more, as well as we saw the La Paz website as well, right? That's a really good website. But here are a few resources that I recommend. And finally, payments and deposits. What is this going to cost? Well, this is a diving and snorkeling liveaboard expedition, all inclusive. And for, it's invite only to the Great Outdoors group, as well as 3H Club and the Desert Dolphins in Tucson. But the total cost is $3,095, which if you've ever priced liveaboards, that's a really, really great price for what we're going to get, a brand new boat, luxury boat. So excellent deal there, $3,095, double occupancy. All forms of payment, I will send you the full trip description, and as well as how to send a payment, which would be Zelle, Venmo, or PayPal. But to confirm a reservation, it is a $200 deposit due right away. And payment is due in full by 90 days, which in this case would be by June 28th. So that's coming up soon. You can contact me, the event organizer. Note that all payments are subject to the cancellation and refund policy of Mexico Liveaboards, and you'll receive a confirmation email of your reservation once you do submit a deposit. So how do you sign up and register? Well, RSVP at the Great Outdoors Adventures group on Meetup, or as I said, this has been offered to the group 3H Hiking Club as well on Meetup, or if you are a Desert Dolphins member, I am as well, and the Desert Dolphins are cordially invited as well. So you just contact me, send me your email address and a good contact number. I will respond back to you, send you the full trip description as well as how to send a payment. And that's it. If you have any questions, this is my contact information. You can call me, text me, probably better to text me or email me at info@greatoutdoorsadventures.net. And I am a certified Los Cabos specialist. So with that being said, I hope you've enjoyed the show and come join us. It's going to be an awesome and amazing adventure. It will be life-changing, I promise you. So thank you very much for coming. And hey, I look forward to hearing from you. Come join us. September 28th through October the 5th.